Hi-ho, true believers, and welcome to Trundlebed Tales, the podcast about Laura Ingalls Wilder, historic foodways, one-room schools, and other social history. This is Sarah Utoff, the host and creator of Trundlebed Tales. Find us all around the web under Trundlebed Tales and on your favorite social media platform. If you listen or just have an account on a podcast system, please leave positive feedback because it helps people find the show. And today we are going to be talking about what's going on in Laura Ingalls Wilder fandom in February 2026. Now, first off, I want to apologize for this to be late, but you see that even though February is one of the biggest Laura Ingalls Wilder months since it's her birthday month, well, I meant to get this done before my trip to Disneyland. You can check out Facebook and Instagram to see my photos from the trip. And I totally spaced. Prepping for a trip is hard. Recovering from any Disney trip is hard. Trying to squeeze in everything we wanted to do, which we failed at, but we did hit all the important things, into just 3 days at Disneyland and Disney California Adventure is tiring. Thanks to Kelly and Teresa for being part of a great travel team. I did get a happy birthday Laura Ingalls Wilder pin, but not one person, either staff or visitor, figured out what it was for. So I was a little disappointed in that. I had previously down at Walt Disney World worn one of my Laura shirts down there so I could get a Christmas card picture of me wearing my Laura shirt by the Little House of Snow White, which I thought was awesome because it was awesome. But I have enough Disney shirts now to wear at the parks, but I kind of liked wearing the Laura shirts there, so I'm not sure. Do you have any thoughts on whether I should wear Laura shirts at the Disney parks? If you've tried it, let me know. So with that, I should let you know I did, besides getting the Laura pin, I also stopped in California Adventure, and one of the things they have there is, well, I should say, if you are unfamiliar with Disney's California Adventure, it was originally set up to be, well, it's a second park to Disneyland, but it was set up kind of originally on the cheap. Because of the problems they were having at what was then called Euro Disneyland, which did not go well at the beginning. And so they didn't end up having as much money in the pot to spend on Disney California Adventure. So they came up with this idea of putting everything people liked about California in a theme park so they would come there instead of going to other places in California. Not a good plan. But one of the things they had as part of that original layout was they had a copy of the Palace of Fine Arts from the 1915 World's Fair. And why do we care about that? Because Laura went to visit Rose in California in 1915 to go and see the World's Fair. So she would have been familiar with this very important building on the fairgrounds, the Palace of Fine Arts. Now, when it was originally opened, there was a sort of show in there featuring Whoopi Goldberg on a recording talking about things in California that you might want to know about, which actually I think sounds kind of interesting. Today, it's actually the Little Mermaid ride, and they have totally repainted the Palace of Fine Arts. So, if you don't know, if you are not very familiar with the Palace of Fine Arts, you're just going to see it's something that they did for Little Mermaid. It isn't. It's the Palace of Fine Arts. I got a picture of me in front of the Palace of Fine Arts. Thank you. Very nice PhotoPass photographer. Love the PhotoPass photographers. You know what Laura home sites need? PhotoPass photographers. At least during pageant days. Seriously, somebody should be doing it. All that aside, I should also say I went and looked at the Pacific Ocean and got a picture of me right at the edge of the water. So just sort of like Laura, although we took too long eating, so we didn't get a great photo of that, but it's a silhouette and it's nice. We also, on this trip, visited the Pomona Public Library. If you do not know, there was a lady named Clara Weber who was the children's librarian at Alliance, Ohio, and started writing to Laura. And they have several letters that she wrote in their collection there. And then she got a job at the Pomona Public Library, which is right next to Los Angeles and right next to Anaheim, and which is where Disneyland is. And so on our trip, we went to visit it. When Clara Weber first went there, they were with their older building. When they built their new building, which is where I visited, they had a special Wilder Anna annex added to the children's room. And that is what I hope to see. Unfortunately, they have been having some building troubles and it is now under construction. But they did let me see part of the collection anyway, which was amazingly cool. And thank you to the Pomona Public Library. And I think that was it for Laura things on my trip. But you got to have a little Laura. So with that, let's roll over into birthdays and anniversaries. In 1860, Charles and Caroline Quinter Ingalls were married February 1st. In 1867, Laura Elizabeth Ingalls was born in Pepin, Wisconsin, February 7th. In 1957, Laura Elizabeth Ingalls Wilder dies in Mansfield, Missouri, February 10th. In 1857, Almanzo James Wilder was born in New York, February 13th, and in 1847, Royal Wilder was born February 20th. As far as what is going on this month, and we've already missed some of these, but Laura Ingalls Wilder's 159th birthday party was on, or her birthday was on February 7th, and they did have an event on February 7th from noon to 3 o'clock at the Little House Wayside in Pepin. Now, they were originally hoping to make it a little bit of a bigger event. It didn't actually end up happening, but if you are, I think they're going to try for a bigger event again next year. So if you are living somewhere where you could easily get to Pepin in the winter, highly recommend that you consider getting tickets to it for next year. It sounds great. Walnut Grove, Minnesota, their pageant tickets go on sale this month in February. If you have not been to their pageant before, they are currently, well, they're in a multi-year process of going from Fragments of a Dream, which was their pageant they did for years, to trying to have a triad of pageants. So people would hopefully come back for 3 years. So this one, I think, is going to be the second year again. I didn't double check, but anyway, if you want to go for a Walnut Groves pageant, strongly recommend you go ahead and buy tickets now. Some people prefer to sit on a blanket on the hill. I do not. I would say buy tickets early and get your place reserved. If you're going as a family, you may want to even buy an extra seat. I used to recommend everybody gets a second seat, but they have raised prices now that enough to the point where I think, one extra seat per family would be reasonable, or you may not want any. They also have introduced having kind of tickets near the beginning or near the front by the stage are more expensive than the ones further up the hill or more to the side. So another good reason to go ahead and pull your seat now. And the other important thing is to get a reservation in place. Now, there are some Airbnbs around. There is a couple of hotels in the nearby area. The preferable one, if you can get it, it's the Wilder Inn in Tracy, just because of its close location. but there are, the last time I stayed there, we ended up in Redwood Falls. So yeah, you might have to drive further, but there are other options around. There is not an actual motel in Walnut Grove. So get the hotel reservation done, buy the tickets now if you're planning on going to the Walnut Grove pageant this year. Okay, moving on. Burr Oaks, continuing from its beginnings, it has had a spaghetti supper fundraiser every year. This year it was on February 7th, and they do tickets. They do a live auction. They used to always talk about, the older people involved used to always talk about how there was a girl who brought her 4-H chickens to auction off in one of the very early years. I think it would be a really fun thing to do. I haven't ever made it, but if you, again, are a person who has the time and ability to travel in the winter, Burr Oaks Spaghetti Supper, I think would be a fun thing to do. Met is trying something different. They are having a Zoom event this year. It's going to be on Saturday, February 21st at 1 p.m. Join Annette Whipple, who wrote the Laura Ingalls Wilder Companion, Barb Boosted, who wrote Wilder Weather, and Cindy Wilson, who wrote Beautiful Snow, as they talk about the hard winter, as it was called in real life, or the long winter, as it was called in the books. There is a link on my blog in the post about events this month to get you to where you need to be registered. And if that is this coming Saturday, if you are interested at all, go ahead and get registered now. With that, I think we are about through this month. I do want to make sure that you are trying to find the podcast. You need to make sure it has, well, there was just one place where it didn't change the picture, but did change. There should be a couple of 2025 episodes. We're planning on doing better this year. If you are trying to find the podcast, it should be under Trundlebed Tales on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Audible, Podchaser, Boomplay, YouTube, and Podbeam. And the YouTube is my YouTube channel, and it will go on there with my YouTube videos. So, thank you for joining us on Trundlebed Tales, your favorite Laura Ingalls Wilder podcast since 2011, with host and creator Sarah Utoff, editor Sarah Utoff, producer Sarah Utoff, aka It's Just Me, so please show a little grace. Find me around the web, on my blog, on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and Twitter. So look for me under Sarah Utoff or Trundlebed Tales on all your favorite platforms. Please subscribe and leave comments because it helps people find the show, no matter what system you are on. And always remember to brighten the corner where you are.